Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we have special guest Brianna.
Woo!
Woo! You've seen her before. Not for a hot minute though, but today we are going to
Hyperbaric Spa.
health and spa, so let's go be healthy and do spa stuff.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. We are here today with Paulina Panis, the COO of Hyperbaric Health and Spa.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Good, how are you doing?
Awesome. I'm great, thank you. Super excited to be here. It is so cool looking, so I'm really excited to get into it.
Well, maybe you're coming over.
Of course. What is Hyperbaric Health and Spa?
Hyperbaric Health and Spa is a recovery center. We want this to become part of people's lifestyle. That's the whole vision behind the therapies that we offer here. Just having people implement it to their daily lives to be able to help people recover better.
And what sort of therapies can folks find here?
Yeah, so you can find hyperbaric oxygen hydrogen therapy. So you go into a oxygen chamber, which is right behind us. And then we also have red light therapy and halotherapy. They all kind of complement each other, hence we brought them all into one roof.
Do you have a favorite service that's offered?
Yes, the oxygen chamber. It's my favorite. Because you can nap there, you can work from there, you can watch TV from there and recover. And you're not targeting just one area specifically. It's just extra oxygen for your body to be able to operate better. So I think it just tackles everything out.
That's so cool. And this is the first of its kind in Canada, I believe?
In America.
In America.
Yeah. Yeah, we're the first ones. This came from Europe. Hyperbaric chambers have been around for a long time. This specific type of chambers were created in Poland. That's where the idea came from. And my in-laws being Polish, that's who decided to bring it over.
You mentioned a couple different types of therapies, and your favorite being the oxygen chamber. Can you talk about the health benefits of the therapies that are available here?
Yeah, so the salt chamber, it's really good for any allergy-related issues, respiratory issues, people that have nervous system issues. That usually is something that will help to address it. It also helps with eczema, psoriasis, acne, because it's a natural anti-inflammatory. So it's really good for all of those things. And usually it's about 45-minute session, so it will be a shorter versus like an oxygen therapy that's a 2-hour session. So a lot of our services offer the same benefits, but in a different degree, right? So if you don't have a lot of time and you don't have any respiratory issues, then maybe just doing a 45-minute will help your sinuses clear out and have a better start to your day. So yeah, that's what halotherapy does. And red light therapy is just really good for skin conditions. Again, anti-inflammatory. A lot of people use it for joints, muscle recovery. It's really good for that. Yeah, yeah. And the oxygen is just everything that you can think of.
Everything under the sun will
Yes,
be fixed
pretty
with
much.
the oxygen
Yeah,
one.
yeah. We have tons of people that come in before they go in for surgery. We had a customer not long ago. She's 80 years old. She's been doing it for a while. She went for a knee replacement. She made sure to come in a week before to saturate her body with oxygen, and then went through her surgery. Didn't come for a week, but then started coming after that week. And she noticed a huge improvement especially on the timelines that they told her that she was going to be able to be without a walker. She was without a walker within 3 weeks. So,
Wow.
Yeah, it was fascinating. Again, being the age being a factor too, that you don't expect people recovering that fast. It was really amazing to see. And just being able to witness that's really what keeps us going.
So is this something that folks are coming in, like, because you mentioned making it part of your life and part of your routine,
Yeah.
so coming in something like once a week, or every case is different? What's kind of the idea there?
It varies. We do recommend for people to come in at least 4 to 5 times when you're getting started. The reason being is you really want to saturate your cells and have them be familiarized with the oxygen to be more receptive to the therapy. The way I always explained it is, if you try something new, it's almost like your cells are afraid, right? They don't know what's happening. So the more you do it, they start to relax and they're like, okay, this is good for me. It's not a one-off time thing. So the more you do it at the beginning and saturate it, the best benefits you're going to see. From there, we always recommend people doing a journal, and that's because everyone will react differently. So you and I may have the same things that we want to address, but maybe I have an underlying condition that we don't share, so that will be different. Even though the main thing that you came for, let's say I have a client that has come in for arthritis, but they may also have diabetes or another condition, so that person will react to it differently, because your body is not that just addressing the one concern, it just goes all throughout. So if you need assistance everywhere else, it's not that it's only going to address the one concern, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah.
So it will vary how frequently people come in. A lot of people do once a week, other people do like twice a week, and then they start to like take it down to doing it once a week. There's people that come maintenance once a month. So it will vary, but once you've gotten your body familiarized with the therapy, if you decide, we have a lot of farmers that come in and they just come seasonal because they have a lot of work during spring and summer, right? Mm-hmm. So they will do fall and winter, and then they kind of do the same thing, and they notice the benefit of doing it that way. They still find the recovery. So ideally, what we want the company to be, and the reason why we created memberships, is for people to be proactive about your health. Because if your cells are poorly saturated with oxygen, it's harder for, I would say, illnesses to come in. So you really want to make sure that you're being proactive about your health. If everything's operating properly, your body will also have the capacity to recover quicker if you do happen to have an accident or whatever it might be, because it's not lacking oxygen everywhere else. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the chambers themselves, you said that there's TV, Wi-Fi, you can move. So it's like a room?
Yeah, it almost looks like a private jet. I would describe it that way. Like there's seating on both sides, and you can walk through it. There's a washroom. We have a premium side and a casual side. With the only difference is you have fully reclinable chairs. The other chairs are really comfortable, but again, there's a lot of we have corporate companies that come and do their monthly meetings with their management teams, right?
That is so cool.
They have a TV, they plug in their computers, they do their PowerPoints, they run through everything, and they find that it's more efficient. One, because there's no distractions. You can avoid and be like, yeah, I'll get to it. No, you're getting to it right now. So they find it to be really helping with their teams to perform better.
In the chambers, I'm kind of curious about the science side. So the chambers themselves add oxygen to your body, like the air. Can you kind of explain that? Does my question make sense?
So there is double. So you're currently in Edmonton. We currently have 20 to 21% of oxygen out of the entire air that we breathe. There's only 20% oxygen in that air that mix. If that makes sense.
Yes.
And so what makes us different is that we have 40% oxygen in the chamber. Now, it doesn't mean that you get 40% extra. Is there 40% available for your body to take in? So if your cells are rounded and take, let's call it this 100%, right? If you have extra oxygen, you're going to make sure by having the pressure, it's going to push in that into your cells. So you're going to make sure that your cells, if they're always running at capacity, right? Mm-hmm. There's a saying that, I don't know how it goes exactly, but it talks about how the absence of oxygen is the presence of illness, or the other way around. But it's absolutely, if you have oxygen in your body and you're well saturated, it's harder for illnesses to come in and penetrate, because a lot of the cells, if they don't get enough oxygen, that's how you start with your cancers and all the things that we don't love. Yeah. Right? So that's one of the things. What makes our chambers different from the typical, what most people associate with hyperbaric chambers, is that we also have hydrogen in the air, so that gets rid of free radicals in your body. And then we have the CO2. So now the CO2, it's key, because a lot of people get confused with the fact that we're breathing out CO2, so you shouldn't want extra CO2 in the air. But the thing is, we don't know, you could be taking less oxygen right now, but your body won't have a distinction to know that you're not taking enough oxygen unless there's more CO2 buildup.
Oh.
Right? So the reason why you have CO2 in the air is to trick yourself to think that you run out of oxygen,
To then
so they
breathe
become
in the
more alert,
oxygen.
and they're like, oh, we need to make it more efficient, right? So I'm not very sciencey. I do understand that in the background. John's great with the science, but I'm more so, how do I convey it to people so they can fully understand it? Because I'm a toddler when it comes to those things. But yeah, I find that having the CO2 is a key part of what we do and what sets us apart. It's the fact that you have CO2, your cells think that you run out of oxygen. Once we go in, you guys will notice that it doesn't feel any different. You don't really notice a difference. You're breathing differently because you go through the compression part in the airlock. Once you go through that process, as you go through the process gradually, once you get inside, you're just breathing normally, right? So that's really what sets us apart. And the reason why you have the pressure, like I mentioned, you want to push that oxygen to your cells. I always compare it to like compression socks. People wear them because you want everything to flow properly. You're essentially having a compression sock all over your body. So everything's kind of pushed in, flowing properly the way it should be running. So yeah.
That's so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess that makes sense because like it's called an hydrogen chamber, but thank you for explaining that, because now that's far more clear in my brain of what actually happens when you have the opportunity to go in there.
And a lot of other hyperbaric therapies, you need to be wearing the mask, and that's the way it's being delivered to your body. In our chambers, you don't have to wear a mask to get the oxygen in because it's in the entire chamber, which also adds that perk that you're not only relying on your lungs to take in that oxygen, but also it's going through your skin. So a lot of people that have open wounds see a huge difference almost immediately. Other than that, it's hard to condense the benefits that you see other than you noticing how you feel.
And then I wanted to ask, so Hyperbaric Health and Spa, the name of the company here. So hyperbaric after the hyperbaric chambers? Like, do you know what that word means?
Hyper is an increased atmosphere. Oh. So that's what we are considered hyperbaric chambers. Gotcha. It's because there is a change of pressure. If we were to call it normobaric, which used to be our first company name, now back in Europe they know them as normobaric chambers, just because there's the normalcy of you not having to change into special clothes. You can come in and out. You don't have to like wait. You can fly right after this. Like there's not precautions that you have to do. It's the normalcy of it. But then in the English dictionary, that doesn't necessarily work that way. In English, it just means that you're like, we could have a cannula for oxygen right now, and that will be normobaric therapy, just having oxygen in a regular atmosphere. So hyperbaric, there's a change of pressure. Yeah.
And then I guess the health and spa is the health side of things, but also the spa atmosphere that you're really getting in, self-care.
Yeah, and we want to implement other services that can align with what we already do. We're looking into IV therapy is coming soon into our clinic here. So we want to have a facility that you can do like a one-stop shop. If you want to get your physio, we can have physios here. That's the long-term vision for it. We want to be able to offer more services that our clients are already interested in, and there are complements. Because again, think of the oxygen chamber as a tool, and the name of it, like, we needed to have hyperbaric because that's our main thing that we do, right? All these other things that we have added is to complement it. Like a lot of people that have issues pressurizing in the chamber, the reason we added the salt chamber or halotherapy is because by being in the salt chamber, breathing that salty air helps to clear your sinuses, so it makes the compression easier. Right? The reason why we added the red light therapy, it's because it helps to activate your mitochondria, so it makes you, again, more receptive to the oxygen, and it gives you a better bundle of services. So you can absolutely do them. There's people that come and they do it all in one day, kind of stagger the way they do it. So yeah, that's the reason why we added the spa, because we want to add more services, and we want to definitely portray this atmosphere of just being like welcoming and warm, and not a medical setting where you feel like, okay, here I go again.
You were mentioning before the salt chamber and the oxygen and all that stuff. Is that the order then, I guess, that you should or like could do it? Like, would it be more, or is it again like certain people doing salt first and then oxygen is better, or how does that work?
It will vary a lot. The order will not alter the way you feel. However, if you are having allergies or you feel like you're coming up with the flu, absolutely doing the salt chamber before you go into the oxygen will help tremendously. Like even myself, it doesn't matter how many times you do it, you still feel the change of pressure. So doing the salt chamber therapy before when you're sick, it really helps to clear everything out, so it makes your compression way easier rather than me having to fight over the congestion and like the blockage that I may have. So that would be the only case that I would recommend doing that order. If you do the red light therapy before or after, it wouldn't alter the benefit that you get overall. Some people do like to do it beforehand because they just find it nice and warm and cozy, and then they go in there kind of like wind down already. So it will vary, but it wouldn't affect the benefits overall.
Gotcha. Focusing in a bit more on your position here, what would you say is the most challenging aspect of the work that you have to do?
I'm very empathetic, so I just want everyone to like try it. I was like, oh. So business-wise, that does not make me a good but I would say, I don't know, I feel like being empathetic, it's a good asset to have here. Because again, you have a lot of people that come for various different reasons. But one of the challenges is not educating people. Yeah, I would say that's like the biggest thing that I've faced is how do I deliver this information to you so you can understand it and you don't assume that you don't need it just because you feel okay right now. You know, because I've suffered from anxiety before, and I feel like everyone in this age has had at some degree, right? And so I don't know, I don't know if like the fact that I knew if I took my meds, that was something that I had control over. So at that point, I felt like I was okay, and that would prevent me having a panic attack because I knew if I did A, B, and C, because that's what I was told, then I'll be okay. So I once forgot my pills, and that made me feel like I'm out of control. What's gonna happen today? Yeah. So I didn't like that feeling, and so when this got brought here, that was my main point on, okay, I'm gonna like test it on myself, see what it's all about. And then I noticed a huge difference. I was sleeping better. I would always like sleep, but I wouldn't feel rested because there was always like nightmares that I had and all of this other things. So I never felt like I was ready to conquer the day. It was just always like, okay, here we go again. Since I would say 8, 9, so a long time. And so seeing that in me, that made me feel a little bit obsessed with the oxygen and like the benefits that it can bring you. Because did I ever think that this could bring some relief in that aspect? No. Would I say that I will bring the same relief to everyone? Can't say for sure. But would I say that there's a lot of people that have come for that reason and they've seen a benefit with the chamber, the oxygen chamber, and even the salt chamber? Absolutely. So I just want people to understand it, but I don't know. I feel like not convince them, like you have to be here. I want you to understand it, to be like, oh, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to be doing. This is how I take care of myself. This is how I implement. Just like you go for a massage, you would do an oxygen session, right? Like things that you do for yourself that it's not maybe your daily, or if you don't have a concern, it's not the top of your list. But this is how, like the one thing that I'm being proactive about to prevent further damage type of thing. And I mean, I'm a napper, so I love it there. But I think that's been one of the biggest struggles is how do I convey it to people to feel and know that they're doing and making a decision for themselves rather than follow the steps and this is it. Like you can get in tune with your body and then see how frequently should you be coming. Like take control over that. Because you will definitely feel the difference. Like because I tried that myself. Did I go 4 days without doing it? And I started to feel like I wasn't resting as well. So then I started to come every 3rd day. And then I noticed that was my pattern. And then it started to be like once a week or every once in a while. So I want that to be the way that it comes from. And just being very transparent on how we run business and that. Like, I just find it, I don't know. I always like see it from the consumer side. So what would I like to see from a company, and how would I like to see them operate, or hope that they operate when it comes to a service like the ones that we offer, where it's, yes, it's still a business, but there is that care for the client. So yeah, I think that's, did that answer your question?
Yes, it did.
Okay,
yes,
perfect.
Thank you. And then coming back to you, what is the most rewarding part of your work?
Seeing the cool stuff that people like experience. It's just fascinating. Like, again, we have clients that we have a client that suffered a horrible accident, and he's unable to walk, but he's been doing therapy, and slowly, along with us, he's been able to recover, not fully walking, but again, it's just the little steps that you see how rewarding it is to see them improve. And again, quality of life. Like, yes, maybe he's not able to run a marathon anytime soon, but by doing this, you are providing that extra support to his morale, and then he's seeing like his muscles are recovering better. They're not getting like spasms as quickly as often as they used to. So that's like the best thing. And again, being able to see it for myself and hear from them. Would I love for everyone to share their story on camera and be like, I did this? Yes. But I understand, like, health-wise, it's complicated for everyone to be super open about everything that they're struggling with. But I do appreciate the people that do that for us. And I mean, we had someone that did skin graft, and like the huge improvement for the 2 months that person came in was fascinating. And again, a lot of like elders that they want to be able to play with their grandkids, and they can't really do that, but then they started doing this and they have the energy and they want to do it. So I don't know, I love those. I'm sucking for the stories. Just anything that, again, any other therapies that they have tried with this, I'm like, oh, and I started wondering like more, and I do more research about how does it work and why does it work when you pair different therapies. Like, what, when you do physio or massage therapy, they're releasing the tension physically from the injury, but now you have the oxygen that flows through it, so it really helps to have more oxygen blood flow going through it, so to really heal the injury. Right? So yeah, that's what I love, the stories, and just being able to be part of that. It's huge.
You had touched on it a bit earlier about things that you're hoping one day to bring to Hyperbaric. Where do you hope to see it in, say, 5 years?
The dreams. I would love to have it as a full-on wellness facility for sure. Again, even if it's just massage therapy, IV therapy for sure is coming in this year. Infrared sauna, like all other modalities that would complement this, and that it could be a thing where you come in for a day pass and it's just a day to treat yourself. Great if you want to see it that way, but also services and therapies that could really help to foster a better life. Yeah, overall, that's our goal, is just to make it into a facility that offers multiple services that go along with this, to get it out there to other small business owners that I've reached out to a lot. It's not a competition of what we do and what you do, is how do we complement services to come together and for the better health of our clients. Yeah.
And then last question, it doesn't have to be specific to Hyperbaric or anything, but what would you say is the best piece of advice you've received throughout your life?
Don't think. To not take things personal. It's not about you. So
I love that.
I'm still trying to apply it to my life. But
all in due time. In due time.
Absolutely. But yeah, I think that'll be the best one that I've gotten so far.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sitting down and chatting with us.
Thank you for coming.
I feel like a science genius now. So.
Thank you.
For folks who have more questions about maybe how this will react with their underlying conditions or other treatments they're undergoing, what would you recommend that they do?
We always recommend for them to talk to their doctor, because no one will know them better if they have any other conditions. Always rely back to the doctor. We're always happy to provide them with the information and the parameters of our chambers. just so they can share with their physicians and have a better, again, be someone that they can go to for further advice and see if that's something that is recommended for them.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and your role here at Hyperbaric Health and Spa.
So my name is John Panis, one of the founders of Hyperbaric Health and Spa. I can't really pinpoint everything I do, or there's no specific role. Because this is a young company and a young startup, the different hats that I wear changes from day to day, or even hour to hour, or minute to minute. I can be going anywhere from the front desk, customer relations, to doing HR, to providing repair and technical support for these chambers themselves. I'm the type of person that likes to dive deep into their work. Some have labeled it as a workaholic, which makes me kind of a perfect candidate for a young startup, especially when you pair that with what Hyperbaric Health and Spa does, and what its goal is as a company. The company, our goal is to get this technology out to as many people as possible. In the last almost 5 years, we've seen people's lives transform because of the services that we offer. A lot of our customers have come to us as kind of a last resort. They've tried everything else, nothing has worked, and they kind of come to us in a very vulnerable and fragile state where they're looking for something to help them. And if you've ever been in that position, it's not a very nice position to be in. You'll do anything and everything to get yourself better, or to get one of your loved ones better, because returning back to normal and trying to live your life the way you remember it, the way you expect it to be, is something that all of us want. And so having our customers come to us sometimes in that fragile and very delicate state is something that we take very seriously. We're never there to make a sales pitch. We're here to inform. We're here to kind of take you by the hand, provide you as much information as we can, try to provide you the best possible customer experience. We like to do everything we can so that the customer's experience is positive. And then, our hope is at the end that they're coming out, obtaining the goals that they, came in here with, giving them a sense of hope, giving them their lives back for, some of the conditions that they're dealing with. And, putting some of that joy back into their lives.
What does hyperbaric mean?
I mean, hyperbaric, as the term itself, is just an increase in pressure. But what I would say, what a hyperbaric health and spa has kind of started to mean to a lot of our customers is, like I mentioned earlier, is this kind of hope, is a sense of regaining their their former lifestyles. I mean, it's not going to completely change or turn back the hands of time. It's not going to make you 20 years old again, but hopefully it can help reestablish that quality of life that a lot of our customers have grown accustomed to, and because of health conditions or ailments, they've kind of been stripped away of that.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what hyperbaric oxygen hydrogen therapy is?
Yeah, so the concept of hyperbaric chambers is, it's quite an old one. The first hyperbaric chamber was, it's 300 years old. You basically put a bell underneath water with somebody inside and increase in pressure. And then about 100 years ago, they found out that if they can also add oxygen to this pressurized environment, that it actually works wonders on the body and helping it to heal on a number of different, conditions and ailments. In the past, the hyperbaric chambers have been very, I like to say, commercial, sterile, where the walls are metal. You're going in, it almost looks like to be, a commercial kind of space. And so with our hyperbaric chambers, it's like bringing the hyperbaric chamber into, the 21st century, where, you've got comfortable seating. You can be using your electrical devices. You can be doing stretching in there. There's a washroom inside. You can be doing yoga. You can host, family get-togethers. You could host meetings with your executive teams. Our chambers really open up the possibility of what's, possible when it comes to hyperbaric chambers. Another thing is that we also add in 1.5% of CO2, which is kind of a biohack in tricking your body to absorbing more oxygen without the possibility of added oxygen toxicity. So it doesn't limit you in how long you can actually stay inside. I've personally, spent the night in these chambers, trying to recuperate from, some kind of sickness. And instead of having downtime of 4 to 5 days, which, prior to using the hyperbaric chambers, was normal, now my downtime is half a day to a day at most. So it helps me to work longer. And then we also have 0.5% of hydrogen gas. So the hydrogen gas acts as an antioxidant. So instead of eating hundreds of pounds of blueberries or berries, or drinking wine, as people are usually associate that as being antioxidants, the hydrogen gas attaches more readily to all those free radicals, stabilizes them, and then your body can pass them through your body.
Where do you see Hyperbaric Health and Spa in the next 5 years?
My hope with hyperbaric chambers in general is to see an increase in their use, to see a greater implementation of these chambers in the healthcare system. When we first started off the business, looking at what the research was, I would have said that hyperbaric chambers can only help you with a handful of conditions or ailments. In the last almost 5 years, that list is probably 10, 20 times larger than what was originally thought. The impact that it's had on people is probably 30 times what I thought could have been possible. Yes, in its current state, it's kind of niche. A lot of people don't know about it. A lot of people have some preconceived notions of what it is, who can use it. They feel like it's limited to them. But because it's such a simple technology, but with a possible, large payoff, I'm hoping that in the next 5 years, there's greater implementation into the healthcare system. More people are using it, are enjoying it, are incorporating it into their, into their health toolbox, just like physio or chiro or acupuncture, exercising better, eating better, drinking better, So I think overall it's a great addition to, what people can use in their, healthcare tools to kind of get better.
Do you have 5 specific concerns that people usually come in with? Like, do they come for a specific reason or seeking specific relief?
I think it differs throughout the year. In the spring or the fall, we might get some more people coming in with, allergies. and they're trying to get some kind of relief from those. I know we do get a lot of customers that have mobility issues, whether that's, you know, from age, from an accident, some kind of injury. So that's, you know, a big one, or they're trying to recover from some, you know, previous condition. Concussions is a huge one. I think that one is, you know, for children getting concussed, that can be, you know, a showstopper right there. You can't go and play sports. And if you get compounded concussions, that can further affect, you know, their development later in life. It can lead to, you know, some learning impediments. You know, even for the adults that suffer from concussions, it can really put a stop to their everyday life, you know, whether it's, you know, walking, talking, thinking. So concussions is a huge one. I'd probably say, you know, any kind of, you know, age-related issues, you know, mobility, brain fog, is another one that people come in. Recovery from surgeries. Now, this can be, you know, replacement of joints. This can be cosmetic surgeries. You know, the clients that undergo the cosmetic surgeries, you know, they're doing it for a reason. They're doing it, you know, to feel better. And sometimes it's kind of done in secret, where, you know, they want that to be their own, you know, little treat for themselves. And so coming here, it helps them to heal faster, and, you know, allows them to kind of keep that secret for themselves, rather than, you know, having to advertise to the world, hey, look, I did this in this procedure. So, you know, that's another, you know, huge one. It's because, once again, you know, that common theme of wanting to get back to the regular life. I mean, we're here to help you to get back to enjoying your life. You know, whatever condition that or ailment you're dealing with, to, you know, help you get better. I will always also say that for some of our customers, you know, coming in here and spending 2 hours away from the world is, you know, another reason that they might come in. It's 2 hours that, you know, now they've dedicated, that they've, you know, invested in for their own betterment. And even those 2 hours unplugged from the world, time to catch up on books or sleep or shows, also gives them a great, you know, psychological benefit.
What would you say is the most challenging aspect of your job?
I think the most challenging aspect of of my job is getting the message out to people. You know, marketing and advertising is not easy, nor do I really specialize in it. But getting the message out to people, and, you know, so that they can come and try it, and see how they can incorporate it into their lives. I think in our society, we've become so, you know, conditioned that you have an issue, you want that issue solved right now, and if it's not solved right now, then you go on to the next. You know, so with hyperbaric chambers, it's something that, you know, you have to do consistently. In the beginning, yes, you'll be doing sessions more frequently, but then as your body's recovering, and as you're taking note of, you know, how it's responding to the added, you know, to the recovery, then you can, you know, space those sessions out further and further, and eventually get to the point where, you know, you only need, you know, hyperbaric chambers as a maintenance package. So, you know, getting people to kind of change their mindset on how they think about their healing journey can also sometimes be, you know, can be challenging, since, you know, we want instant gratification.
What would you say is the more rewarding aspect of your job?
I think without a doubt, the most rewarding, and the reason I, you know, get up and do this every day, is seeing the effect and impact it can have on people's lives. You know, seeing people smile, be happy that, you know, they're getting better, to see that, you know, they can return back to, you know, the lifestyle that they were kind of accustomed to, but because of this, you know, health condition or ailment, they were kind of stripped from that. Honestly, seeing people get better is, you know, is what gets me up in the morning, and it is the best part. It's getting excited about people's recovery and, you know, them being able to return back to their regular life.
And lastly, what is the best piece of advice that you've received throughout your life?
I think the best piece of advice I've received is cherish the time you have with one another. I mean, whether we're, you know, coming here to Hyperbaric Health and Spa to, you know, try to regain some of our, you know, our lifestyle. Time's limited. It's, you know, the time we spend with others, the things we take for granted, you know, in a moment, they can be gone. So cherishing the time, you know, being present in the moment with each other, you know, building that connection with people, I think is, you know, everything else will follow, but time with people, you can't replace that. So yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah.
I feel like an astronaut.
Oh, and the other chamber is
Her and Orlando Bloom broke up, right?
Yeah. How are you guys doing so far?
I'm good.
I'm having fun. Okay, then you should clear them. Seals them. If we were to have an emergency or the chamber isn't able to upkeep with the parameters, it will start depressurizing. Nobody needs to do that because it's not latched by anything. So you're kind of safe on that side. What else? Yeah, so that's the reason why they're essentially like that. Now, the worst thing that can happen is that you will be breathing the air outside. Because once we depressurize, you guys will see that when we calm down, the doors will open on its own, and that's just because now it matches that atmosphere outside. So you don't really have to do anything extra or fight the pressure to get out, because you're just gonna be breathing the 20% oxygen air that we survive on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going down is fine. It's just the going up
That you have to fight the pressure a little bit. So the pressure that you go up, like it was, I don't know if you guys know with the labor, but it's 1.5 ATA. So it's equivalent to diving 5 meters underwater, and then double the amount of oxygen. How are you guys doing?
I'm good.
Are you plugged? How are you? Yeah.
If you find that one ear is plugged and the other one's clear, cover the one that's clear. Pinch your nose, close your mouth. How are your ears?
I'm much better now.
Yeah? Are they hurting or is it just plugged?
Just a little blood on the right
Both?
No, on the right side.
Okay, so I'm gonna go a tiny bit down. I'm gonna get you to cover your left side. Is blowing helping you or no at all?
Kinda.
Okay, so I'm gonna go down. You do this, close your mouth and blow. And then I'm gonna go down, and then the counter pressure should help to clear it.
Okay.
Michelle's being so nice and not friendly, right?
I'm like, I don't know.
You're doing good? Is it better? Is it still plugged?
Do the squats. Do the squats. Do the squats.
Is it getting worse? Or is it staying there?
No, I'm staying there.
Okay, let's give it a minute. But yeah, if you do normally do a 4-ball compression, you can get it in 350 to 4 minutes. And then if you do a 2-ball, which is what we mostly do with all clients.
Oh, Rich, can I have your phone?
Yes.
To my crib. Just
Hey, MTV, welcome to my
this
crib.
is actually Redox water. I'm gonna have to go and take a client out of the other chamber, but I'll leave you guys to hang out here if that's okay.
Cool, yeah, thank you.
So this is the Redox water. This is meant for bottles. So that's on the side. It only produces about 1 liter at a time. Again, because of hydrogen
We'll die.
will die.
So it's like there's
go
no
away.
point.
Yeah. There's a hydrogen generator here, so that's why it kind of processes that extra.
Cool.
But yeah, so the cups. This is the casual side. Chairs are comfortable, but they don't recline. They just lean back a little bit. There are phones in here.
Come with me to the Emerald City. Just kidding.
I mean,
This is so cute, you
It's
guys.
like first class over here.
It's first
This is
class.
economy.
I never get into first class, but today's the day.
Hey, Mom, she made it.
I'll just recline in my reclining chair. Slowly. Don't show my cookie
You brought them
socks.
up.
This is cool. What does that do? Oh, you can recline any which way.
What's
I
that,
think this is.
light? Oh,
How did I do that?
the back.
Wow. This is like a very cute place to cozy up with a
You
book.
can go and sit down if you'd like.
I'm comfortable.
She's more of the on screen.
I could get used to this. I could get used to this.
Breathing is just normal. How do you feel though?
I feel good. I feel like it's cooler in here. Like the air feels less thick.
Yeah.
But I don't know if
definitely
that's because we were just in that room. That was a fun experience. I don't know if you guys heard, but I have a really strong muscle in my mouth.
Drink every time someone says she has a strong
So that was super fun. It gets really hot in there, like she mentioned.
I didn't find it that bad.
I thought it was hot and humid. No, just me?
Yeah, no, I thought it was hot.
Yeah, I felt it was warm, but it's like much cooler in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like chilling.
You want me to film you two drinking it?
Sure.
I'm gonna give myself a little more water now. Do you want more water, Brianna? Because I think there's a lot more water now.
No, you guys drink it.
No, I filled like our cups up half. Okay, we're trying to water. Cheers.
I'm very picky about my water, so.
Rochelle is your
I still think it
classy.
tastes different.
It tastes like water, but it tastes like warm water.
That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
think it tastes
What
like
do you?
normal
What are
water.
you? What does it taste like to you? I was thinking it was gonna taste like pennies. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know why when she said it was
Did
like.
they say they put copper in the water?
Okay,
pretty
can I
sure
not have
that's
an
what pennies
opinion?
are made
Wow.
of. Your nails are so cute.
Thank you.
I don't know. I think it tastes sweeter than normal water. Like it leaves something in my mouth.
I see that.
Like not in a bad way, but it leaves like I don't know. I think it tastes sweeter. I'm just.
It tastes like we just had ice cream and then we drank water and then ice cream in the mouth.
I wouldn't go that far.
No,
but
it doesn't. I see the little sweetness you're talking about.
Rochelle just wants ice cream because I told her we could get ice cream after this.
I'm getting ice cream with or without you guys. I hope you know. Good water though.
Very good water. There's some cows walking on the screen. I was distracted. Usually when I see cows, I say cows. So that was me saying cows. Listen, Brianna. Ooh. Go ahead, go ahead.
Do we close it ourselves?
I think so, yeah. She said there's nothing special that you have to do. Ooh,
Ooh.
is this all Himalayan salt?
It is.
Oh,
It's salt on the ground. Oh.
Yeah, they gave socks on the outside, but
cool.
Well, I'm already.
We'll send.
I feel like this is like what inside of a volcano would be like.
also I'm sorry I lied. I thought it,
I
like when I
agreed.
first opened it, it felt more of a sauna, but maybe because we depressurized from the oxygen tank that now I'm no
Yeah.
longer.
That is totally okay.
This is very nice.
How's it feel to be in
Feels
a Himalayan
cool.
salt chamber?
I like it a lot better than sand. Me personally.
This salt?
Yeah.
This is really cool.
It is really cool.
I don't know.
Hello everyone, we are still in the salt chamber because we love it so much here. Like what? It's very, very relaxing, very I don't know what the word is.
Peaceful. I
I'm
think.
yes,
Very
yeah.
peaceful, very relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any like sinus issues or any like jaw pain, I would highly recommend coming for the oxygen chambers.
Mhm,
Yeah, the
yes.
oxygen chambers. Or my ultimate favorite is the salt chamber, because I struggle a lot with sinus problems and jaw pain and stuff like that. So just come here. That's all I can say is just come here.
The oxygen chambers too were nice for you?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely check it out. They were telling us, I mean, she said it on camera, but she was telling us that you should talk to your doctor and see if this is something that is right for you, obviously, because you don't want to come here and do the opposite of what they're wanting you to do. So definitely talk with your doctor first. And if it's something that you're able to do, definitely come check it out. It's the first one and only one in North America, I thought she was.
Yes, yeah.
Which is very cool. And they have stories and clients to prove that this stuff actually works. It actually helps them out. So,
and Brianna is not a paid actor.
Exactly,
She
no.
just came
She
with
just
us,
came-
and
I
we
can't
learned
act.
that this is like a great thing for her.
Yeah.
So if you're like, oh, I don't know, she's a random person who just tried it for the first time today. So if you're like, oh, maybe because this random person tried it and it kind of worked for them, I should ask my doctor. I think you should ask your doctor. I'm vibing here. I think it's really nice. Paulina is absolutely amazing. We talked to John as well for a brief period of time. He is also wonderful, both very knowledgeable in everything that this place has to offer. And this place right now, the salt chamber that we're in, to me is like the beach, but a better beach. Like, Rochelle, I think you put it really well. You said like the inside of a volcano, but like not like hot.
No.
Kind of like maybe like
the
inside a
vibey.
cave. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like it's very chill, and like the air is, I don't know if I'd say salty. Like it doesn't feel weird. Like it's,
I also
smells
think
slightly
it doesn't
different, but-
make me feel like dried out, which it does not. I don't feel dried out at all. I'm playing with it right now.
It's more of like a
It's
texture,
wonderful.
a sensory room.
I
for
love it.
Rochelle.
Yeah, super fun here. And then the oxygen chambers as well. Like I felt like an astronaut getting pressurized before we got to go in. Super fun, super relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you guys have anything else to add?
Just come.
I think
Try
it's
it
fine.
out.
Yeah.
With your doctor's recommendation.
Yes,
of course.
for sure.
That's
Check
the big
it
one.
out.